Drama is circulating around this series fresh off the press, and the title of this series could not be any more ironic. The title of the series is Drama Queen, and you have a lot of people saying that this manga is racist and xenophobic. Just one look at the comments on this post alone from its official link, you see people saying that this is a racist manga. You go to the comments section on the site of the chapter, and you see people basically saying that this is an anti-immigration manga, very racist manga, all that type of stuff. So, it's very clear that this manga, this new manga called Drama Queen, is, getting quite controversial. It just came out this morning, first chapter. I was completely unaware it was coming out, and I've been hearing for the last 5 or 6 hours now that this is apparently racist. And obviously, this is Twitter I was hearing it from, and as someone that has had multiple run-ins with Twitter, typically Twitter usually doesn't know how to separate fiction from reality. I have been in the crosshairs because of people like that cannot separate fiction from reality, and they become very mentally ill. And so, I was curious. I was like, okay, I see comments that this is a very racist, xenophobic manga on Twitter. Go to the comment section of the site, I see the exact same thing. I go to Reddit, I see the exact same thing. Now, I don't know if there is a content creator that's already made a video on this said series yet. Maybe I'm the first one. But regardless, I wanted to check it out for myself. So I dived into the first chapter because I wanted to know for myself if it was racist. I wanted to come to my own conclusion. I wanted to see why people were saying that and why people are saying that this series needs to be canceled. So, first of all, let's just show this sequence before I go into any more of that topic. So, our main female and male character, they interact at the end of the chapter. I'm going to fast forward through a few plot points, but basically our main female character, she gets fired because her boss gets burnt, okay? Burns up in front of her, and it's like she gets stun locked, she doesn't really know what to do, but her boss dies in front of her. Now, her boss is an alien, and I guess the world is where aliens have come to the world on Earth because they saved Earth from a giant meteor that was going to wipe out the planet. The aliens saved Earth, they saved Japan, everybody else basically, and they're now praised as heroes. They're praised as the saviors of the world, and so everyone actively, the main majority around the world, is actively praising the aliens, basically worshiping them. Our main female character, her, does not like this. She absolutely does not like the aliens, and from context of the chapter, there really is no reason, at least at this point. Maybe I have a literacy issue, but at the current time of this chapter, the main female character had no reason to dislike the said aliens. The only dislike that she theoretically had was, like, let's just say, conspiracy theories, that maybe the aliens, put the meteor there, or the meteor never existed, and then they infiltrated and took over Earth like they did. This is a topic that does pop up in this chapter. Anyways, she gets fired from her job, and then the person that was at her job that she had an encounter with, he pulls up with an alien he's carrying on his shoulder. He has a bloody nose, as you can see here, and he starts to say that he's in trouble, and that he beat this alien literally so hard that he's dead. He's straight up dead, and he doesn't know what to do, and he wants help with the main female character to cover up the crime he just committed, aka hide a dead body. Wild stuff. Anyways, I want to point out that this is our main characters. Main female and male character that is doing this. Anyways, they talk in link that in the history of the aliens coming to Earth, there's never been a point to where someone has committed, let's say, murder or something against an alien. So there is no active, articles, news, or anything to go on how a human would be punished. However, taking into granted, thinking about the situation of how advanced the alien society is, that they were able to stop a meteor from destroying a planet, they have interstellar travel and all that, very clear that if, let's say, humanity was to go up against the aliens, humanity would lose. I think that's a no-brainer. So obviously, humans would probably be quick to prosecute and kill said person that was to do something like this. And so murder is murder, you get the point. Anyways, upon that, that's what led into the situation of covering it up. And the main male character says he just doesn't see this alien as a person. Wild. Actually, just wild page. Wild page. I'm legitimately curious on what the translators for this chapter were thinking when they had to translate this from Japanese to English. I wonder what was going through their head when they had to do this specific page. I would love to see an interview with them. Anyways, this is what the main male character says. They don't see the aliens as people. Wild stuff. Anyways, as it continues on, the main female character starts to think of what they could do to how to hide it and all that, and like, why are you roping me up in this? But then she starts to realize, like, wait a minute, boiling, cooking, and all that. I did like the smell of my boss. Talked about that literally a few minutes ago. And she's like, you know what? Let's eat this bad boy. She wants to eat him. And I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. We are going so far off the cliff right now. You're telling me we have went not just into potentially full-blown hate crimes, but also into murdering, trying to hide and desecrate a body and eat said body. And then they plan on continuously doing this. And the story quickly sets us up with the ending final pages that they are going to continue doing this, that they're going to become murderers, serial murderers, getting rid of aliens within the city. Wild, actually freaking wild stuff. So now that the summary is kind of tackled, let's dive into the complaints, the controversy, and everything else. First off, I can see why people might be calling this series racist or xenophobic. I can see it to a degree. However, does that necessarily mean stories like this should not be written? No. I think that there is a time and place for stories, even if they're uncomfortable stories, to be told. I hate censorship, and if this is the story that the author/artist wants to do, they should be allowed to do it. Regardless, if maybe 60 or 70% that read this first chapter become uncomfortable, I don't think that this series should be canceled. I think that it is a very unique and different start to a manga. Once again, yes, the characters are not good people. Let's be honest. You can say whatever you want. It's very clear just by the dialogue and everything, by the chapters painted. Within universe of Drama Queen, the characters are definitely committing hate crimes and they are definitely racist. Once again, though, this does not mean that this series should not exist or it should be canceled. I think it should keep going. I think it is a very unique premise, and I do think that has a very unique opportunity to tell a story that you don't normally get to see or read about. So I'm curious to see how the author handles this, because obviously the subject matter could theoretically be very delicate, but I do think it would be interesting to see an author try to tackle this, because a lot of people are scared nowadays to do very edgy or dark storytelling, because obviously we know how society is. We have seen it. I mean, just look how people can't separate reality from fiction. In this case, that goes into that. Just because this might be a very dark, messed up story doesn't necessarily mean that the author is an evil person, a bad person. That's not what this means. Maybe they just want to tell a story like this that's really messed up. Nothing wrong with that. So all I'm going to say is that Drama Queen, if you're someone that likes dark stories, dark beginnings and stuff, let's say you like Chainsaw Man, Fire Punch, you like JJK, you're probably going to fall in love with this. This definitely has that darker atmosphere to it, and it's in Jump Plus as well, which is a good thing to segue into. At this current time, I really don't actually know if it's going to be a bi-weekly, weekly, or monthly release series. This is officially coming out on Manga Plus, aka Jump Plus and all that, the same site that had Oshinoko, FYI. And so if we're going on that limb, we can assume this is either weekly or bi-weekly as a release schedule. And I'm curious on how far this series will get. I hope that how the internet can very much overreact. I hope that this series doesn't get axed because of controversy. I could definitely see it happening, but I hope it doesn't, because I legitimately think that this has a very unique opportunity. I mean, we are clearly not following Goody Goody Two Shoes characters. I think that's very apparent, and I think that is fascinating. It's been a while since we've had not just like Goody Two Shoes characters or even Morley Gray characters, but just straight up very bad people. Like, very bad characters. Like, that is exactly what this looks like. So, we'll see. We'll see how there is progress or regression to the said characters within the story. I want to see it for myself. So, yeah, Drama Queen. Chapter 1. Did not expect what I was about to get into. I was actually stun-locked by this first chapter. But I will stay tuned to see where it goes. So I'll leave it at that. Do you think that this series is racist or xenophobic? Do you think that this needs to be canceled or whatever? Personally, I've already told you my piece on this. You know how my thoughts are. But all I'm going to say is those that are uncomfortable with this doesn't mean it should be canceled. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, I love you guys. Be safe. Stay healthy. Chibi out.